Tax day is gone. The countdown is past. Help to navigate the changes in 2025. We still have Andy Phillips, Vice President of the Tax Institute at H&R Block. Andy, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
All right, tax day is over with. So tell us about some deductions and tax credits we could have had, and what are the main things to think about when looking to increase the size of our refund?
Absolutely. So, when it comes to any potential deductions or credits, like everything with taxes, it's super personal. It really depends on you. So maybe we'll talk about a couple items that are commonly missed by folks. So first, people often miss out on education credits, the American Opportunity Credit or the Lifetime Learning Credit. These are meant to help subsidize the cost of higher education for you, your spouse, or even your dependents. When it's commonly missed is maybe that first year when someone is going to school, maybe one of your dependents, or people don't realize when they go back to school, maybe even just to improve job skills, there may be something available for them. Another commonly missed credit is the earned income credit. In fact, according to the IRS, only about 80% of eligible people claim that each year. Now, that can be a rather large refundable tax credit meant to help working Americans make ends meet. There are some income limitations, but again, a lot of people miss out on that each year just because they don't realize they qualify.
Okay, so it's after the deadline. Is there anything new that people need to know about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So first, I think as we're after the deadline, for anyone who hasn't filed yet, if you're due a refund, what are you waiting for, right? You want to get that money as soon as possible. The sooner you file, the sooner you're going to get that money. If you didn't file because you owe or you're afraid you owe, penalties and interest begin to accrue after the due date and they continue to accrue going forward. So it's really important that people get that taken care of as soon as possible, either to get that refund in their pocket or to make sure they're not digging a bigger hole for themselves. Some other big changes people can expect going forward is there's going to be more Form 1099-Ks. We saw that increase for 2024 because the threshold for getting those went from way up at 20,000 and you had to have 200 transactions down to 5,000. For 2025, it goes down even lower to 2,500. People that are selling things online, maybe like on Etsy or taking payment through a Venmo or PayPal, may get a 1099-K for the first time. The other one I'll quickly call out is for our crypto investors. You may not have been getting any sort of tax document for your crypto transactions in the past. Starting in 2025, we're going to see Form 1099-DA for many of those transactions. So when you get that form, that also means the IRS gets that form. And don't think that makes it non-taxable for prior years as well. Make sure you're taking advantage or that you're taking that into account when you file your taxes.
You see me, I'm crying with everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what are the big things small business owners need to know?
Yeah, so for small business owners, the first thing I'm going to say is know when to need help, and help may look a little different. If you've been doing it on your own and you were a sole proprietor, but you've grown, you've gotten employees, or you've brought other people into your business, it's not just tax things you need to think about, like your income tax return. You may have bookkeeping, payroll services that you need. You may have questions about, do you have a business entity? Do you have the right business entity? And is there one that's more advantageous for tax purposes? So for folks who are in that business, that business realm, there's a lot to consider. I'd encourage you to visit www.blockadvisors.com to learn about a lot of those considerations.
Now, what can we do all year to prepare for our filings?
Absolutely. So first thing I'm going to say is, a lot of times when people do file their taxes, they treat it as a look back, right? And they say, okay, well, we just finished filing 2024 taxes and we really only thought about what happened last year. They forget to plan for the next year. So make sure you're making a plan as soon as possible, like right now, to get the best outcome for you when you go to file a little less than a year from now. And so that's really important. Another thing people can think about is if you have any questions about whether you got it right on your tax return, you can visit an H&R Block office. And for folks who haven't filed with us in the past and don't have that confidence that they got it right, we'll do a free second look on your last 3 years tax returns to see if you made any mistakes, maybe missed a credit or deduction and left money on the table.
One more time, Andy, where can we go for more information?
For more information, you can visit www.hrblock.com.
I've been speaking with Andy Phillips, Vice President of the Tax Institute at H&R Block. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.